Here, Mike.
Okay.
So hey guys, welcome to the relaunch of I'm That Geek show, where we're geeking out with world experts, face-to-face, unscripted, in real time, getting your questions answered as you join us in this presentation. So if you are watching us right now on Google+, on Facebook, on Twitter, wherever you're watching us, you want to come to imthatgeek.com/live, because right under this video, you will see a button that will become active as 30 minutes into the conversation, where you can jump in and ask our experts face-to-face your specific questions about your business, whatever you're going through, your life, your visions, anything that you want. So today we are talking about Google Posts. And Google Posts were rolled out, I believe, about 2 weeks ago. My experts will correct me in a second. And this whole thing came about because Mike Blumenthal, the genius behind Google Local, created an article that was really walking you through how to use Google Posts for your own business. And I was talking to the guy that I know as the Google Local experts, Ben Fisher, and we were discussing the article. And like, wow, there's a few, questions that are arising. And even more questions were arising in the Google Local community. So I decided what's better than bring these two genius minds into this one hangout so we can walk you guys through how to use Google Posts for your own business, for ranking, for money, for footsteps in the door, for all the good stuff that you can get from Google search. So without further ado, let's introduce our awesome guests. So Ben, how you doing, friend?
I'm doing excellent for a Thursday. Thanks, Yifat, for having me.
Thanks for joining. And then Mike. Hey, Mike.
Hello. It's a little scary. Night.
So what you guys are seeing, there we go. Sometimes they're going to be a little jittery if I don't flip it right away, is the top experts right here to guide us started on Google Posts. So the first thing, Mike, you wrote this article and you were walking people through that, through how to use Google Posts. So let's talk about what Google Posts are first, and then we'll dive into how you can use them for your business.
So Google Posts is a micro-blogging environment created by Google specifically in its current incarnation for small businesses to be able to communicate with their customers from the front page of Google on a brand search for that business, or to your customers from a keyword search via the local finder. So it's a way for business to communicate quickly, briefly, dramatically, with a call to action to their customer base, people that are curious about them. And I think it's a great communication tool.
So would you say that is Google kind of like trying to get the blogging, like they had Blogger, right? And now they're actually having posts directly in search, kind of removing Blogger from the mix. Is that right?
Well, I don't see, Google is a funny company, right? They're going to create 4 of everything and slightly different versions. They're going to have multiple blogging environments, multiple social environments, multiple whatever. So Posts is a specific to Google Local. It is, I think, primarily designed to create an incentive for a small business to come into the Google My Business dashboard on a regular basis and update on a regular basis. A post only lasts for 7 days. So if you want to keep messaging using the front page of Google, you have to go back at least once every 7 days and re-up your commitment. So I think I look at it as a tool for Google to try to get people back in regularly to an environment where they've historically had trouble doing that.
Right. So I'm gonna share my screen for a second so you guys can see what this looks like. And this is one of Ben and Mike, your favorite example, maybe, for Google Post.
She's my pet customer.
Your pet customer. Okay. So this is one person that Mike is actually working with. So these are Google Posts, right?
Yes.
And so now what you're seeing, so
with the knowledge panel right below it, right on the right. Yep.
So this is visible for anyone who's just coming and searching them in search. Like they can see reviews. So can you walk us through what we're seeing here?
Sure. So this is known as the knowledge panel. It's Google's representation of this business extracted from their knowledge graph. So Google has multiple indexes, right? One index is for organic content, as you see on the left. Another index is for video content, like you see down the page. Local content exists in its own world in the context of their knowledge graph and database of entities. They extract from that things that Barbara has entered, as well as things they've learned about her from other things. So you're on the right side, it's what's called the knowledge panel. That includes, right at the top, so right at the top, you'll see photos that Barbara has uploaded. Next to it, the map and street view. Below that, a summary of her Google reviews, a link to her website, her name, address, phone number information. Barbara, being in a service-driven business, also has an extra link on hers for the people can link to see the types of services she offers. And below that is posts. Posts appear just above reviews from the web. Reviews from the web is Google's summary of how she is ranked at third-party review sites.
Oh, wow.
Facebook, The Knot, which is a wedding site, as well as her own site. Barbara uses Get 5 Stars to collect her own reviews, and those show up as part of the knowledge panel. Below that,
I'm going to click on this for a second just to see where that takes me, because I've never seen that in search actually. So if we go there, so this is like a Google plugin that she's using.
This is a standalone application that I am the co-creator of called Get 5 Stars. It is a product that allows her to assess her client sentiment, get feedback from them, post that in real time to her website as content on her website in rich snippet form, so Google reads it. And then it allows her to ask her customers for reviews.
That show up in search. That is super cool. So guys, if you're watching this and you are on our site right now, right here on the bottom, you can go to Mike's 5 stars and actually take a look at this snippet that gets you into these reviews that go straight into Google. That is super cool. So these are the reviews right here.
Right.
And this is from her Facebook page, I'm assuming.
Right. Correct.
And this is something else.
This is a third-party review site. You can see it over on the left side. You also notice that while Yelp is on the organic left side, Yelp is not does not show as reviews from the web because of Google and Yelp's disagreements about how Yelp data should be handled. And then below that, on that knowledge panel, you see popular times, which is the data Google collects from Android users and iPhone users that have location data turned on. That shows how long users are typically in her shop and what the popular times are. And then below that,
that's reviews on her Google My Business page.
Yeah, snippets that are summary of, it's sort of the most typical comments. The Google extracts what they think are the most indicative comments out of her reviews. She has a lot of Google reviews, but these represent sort of the typical sort of attitude.
That's awesome. Okay, so when we're talking about like Google Posts, so now if I'm going to click on this, I am going to be taken to her website.
Right.
That is totally not what I expected. I expected to go to Google My Business.
Well, what you clicked on right there, though, was the call to action.
Okay, so walk me through that again. So when I am setting my posts, right? Okay, so if I click on this, I would go to the post directly. Gotcha. And then when I click on learn more, I would go to her website.
That's good. Posts allows you to add a call to action to each post. There's two types of posts in the world. There's content posts and there's event posts. Event posts are time-based for the duration of the event. Content posts last 7 days, and they allow you to add one of several calls to action. Book, learn more, and a few others. I can't remember what they are at the moment.
Reserve, sign up, buy.
Right. So there's
Did you
several
say
calls to
sales?
action that you can add, and you can add your own link to those. So that's one of the things that we really like about it, is that Google allows small businesses to create their own call to action that can lead wherever they want.
So what would be, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. And so what, if you're a business, let's talk strategy for a second, because I'm already seeing businesses going like, okay, market, right? Let me put all my marketing stuff out there. And I get the feeling that this is not what Google intends to do with this post, right? So Ben, what would be the best strategy for using this to actually, I think it's to build customer relation, right? What would you say?
Well, I think the one thing is that it's great for small businesses because they do get exposure when somebody's doing a brand or a brand related type of search, even product related search. So, kind of back to what Mike was saying, this is also a great way for people to get back into Google My Business, which is one of the ultimate goals that Google has, of course, for local businesses. As far as strategies go, beyond the ability to have a direct call to action beyond website, of course, and call and driving directions, is I've seen a lot of businesses utilizing the event aspect of it. They can keep it up for as much time as they want. They can also plan their events in advance and, book people towards any kind of thing where they have, like, for instance, if you have this seminar, that you're doing, say, once a month, you could very easily go ahead and set up a couple of posts, say for maybe 3 months worth of your events, and you're good to go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
From a branding perspective, it doesn't, depends on the type of business. Currently, it's not available to, say, anybody in the hospitality industry, hotels, bed and breakfasts, but any other kind of business is able to very easily just go ahead and put out whatever kind of messaging they have, whether that's going to be a special, whether that's maybe just something that's more informational versus transactional. Let's say a company has a new blog post. They want to promote their blog post. So if somebody's searching for that for that brand, then you can very easily get exposure. So again, I think it's a great benefit. And the only thing I can say about it that's really nice is that it's extremely easy to use. It's very intuitive.
Oh, should we should we show how to do that on my own profile? It's gonna be a little bit embarrassing because I haven't used my Google My Business in like forever. But
you're the perfect candidate. You're the person they want back into Google My Business because you don't go into it forever.
Like ever.
to add to Ben's point, certainly it can be used for selling, but I think that the soft sell is the best sell in this context. I think that education, is important. I think that you could easily oversell with this and turn people off. I think that a business needs to think through their communication and selling strategy. If you're not an event-driven business, if you don't use events for marketing, then, are you going to use it for sales or are you going to use it for education? In Barbara's case, she uses educational selling as her way of approaching her customer base. She wants her customers to understand what they're buying, why they're buying it, and to feel comfortable buying it from her. So for her, it's frequently going to go back to a more extensive blog post where people could learn about diamonds or jewelry or earrings or custom design that they might not otherwise know about. So I think you have to be a little careful because I think it's going to be really easy to oversell with it. I think great photos are critical, and I think great content in the end is going to win the day. I think that consumers are smart enough not to be easily induced by the hard sell these days, and I think you need to be smarter than that.
I absolutely agree. Mike made a great point there, actually, about great content and also the soft sell. Of course, we expect this to get spammed like any other Google product. It's going to be abused. They do have mechanisms for going through posts and striking posts that people Google feel are not appropriate. But I just lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens.
You're talking about spam.
Oh, I know. No. What I was going to say was, I think I want to use the word revolutionary, but it's not. But I think what's unprecedented here is the level of control that Google has basically given a small business over their knowledge panel. Historically, you haven't had that kind of control. So just like Mike was showing with Get 5 Stars now showing up in the knowledge panel, that's awesome because that's actually a piece that can be controlled in a sense by the business owner. But now this allows business owners to have exert a little bit more control, and basically they decide what's going to show up in posts. You can't control the snippet. You can't control, definitely the reviews except for Get 5 Stars. You can control the hours and other things like that through Google My Business, but you just can't control the messaging. Sometimes you can't even control what image shows up for your logo.
Right.
Sometimes you can't even control what hours show up for your business.
Yeah, that's true too.
So this is super critical because would you say like now business owners need to be SEO experts in order for these posts to show up in search?
No, the posts.
I'm going to say no.
No? Okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
This product is designed to be super simple, obvious to anybody. There really is Google is not even indexing the posts in the organic index to this point. The content is associated with the business in the knowledge graph. So Google knows about the content in the knowledge graph, but the content doesn't show separately from the business search result. So this post really is about conversion optimization. What my research shows is that 70% or more of consumer actions take place right on Google these days. Click to calls, click for driving directions, happening less and less on third-party directory sites, virtually zero on sites like Bing, happening less than it used to on your website, but most of these actions take place right on Google. It's really important that a business looks really good when somebody calls them up. And this is one of those tools that Google is giving you to look really good, which is why the quality content's important, because if you look like a sleazy aluminum siding hard sell business there, I think you're going to lose your best opportunity at conversion, which is right on the front page of Google.
So if I let me share my screen again for a second, because I guess my biggest confusion is where are those posts showing up, and they're only showing up if you look directly specifically for the business, right?
No, go do a search for jewelry appraisal, Buffalo, New York.
So
jewelry appraisal, yeah, there you go. And then appraisals, not appraiser.
Appraisals. There you go.
Let's see here. And then go into more places.
So I see her website, like Barbara here, but I don't see, so nothing shows up.
Back up. Click into more, do a search, jewelry appraisals, just do jewelry Williamsville. That'll be better.
I'm sorry,
jewelry Williamsville.
Williamsville.
Yeah.
With appraisals?
No,
just jewelry Williamsville.
Jewelry Williamsville. It's the suburb she's in.
Okay, can you spell that?
Williamsville. There it is. Second choice.
Which one?
Yep. All right. So now click on her listing, which takes you into the local finder. So it shows in this context. So this is one step removed from the front page, but this is how it shows in search, is when a business does a keyword search, clicks for more information through to the local finder, and then this is exposed.
So if I go to someone else, then they have nothing. I don't know anything about them, but I'm looking at the, I'm probably looking at their reviews at that point. So, so this is interesting because, okay, I'm going to be just like a regular user.
But you just touched on a competitive advantage there, though.
Oh, okay. Tell me. Yeah.
Without even knowing about it.
Yeah.
Good job, Yifat. So if you think about it, though, right, a lot of people make decisions based on reviews. and reviews are highlighted. Okay, Barbara's got 146 reviews. Some of her competitors don't even have reviews, or like 5 for skin lines.
Right.
So when a customer is making a decision, basically, and they see that Barbara Oliver has Google Posts, and then they click, normal user behavior is going to be continue clicking on different options, reading reviews maybe.
Right.
Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute, Barbara Oliver has something to actually say. Happy birthday, July babies. How to get your red, white, and blue for 4th of July. She's got, and the learn more call to actions are not a step removed, right?
Right.
So now instead of somebody going through, say, multiple listings, or say, having to click on everybody's website, the informational data is right there. So that also gives, I think, a business basically a better leg up when it comes to grabbing the attention of a user who's may have the intention of a transaction right away. So it's a good differentiator.
Love it. So totally love it, because you would put, like, Barbara doesn't do it yet, but you put like 20% off right now, and then if someone just clicks through this, right, then the post will appear and be like, oh wow, there's a little sale, and you click on that, and from Maps directly to the website.
Yep.
So that would be the path. That's okay, cool. So if I go to, like, okay, so interior designer Austin, right? Because this is where I live and this is what I look for. My question is that I will have to know specifically what business I'm looking for before I can see their post showing up in search, right?
Well, it depends if you mean organic search like you're looking at right now, or if you mean you're looking to local finder.
Meaning by local finder, what do you mean? Because this is what people usually do, right? They go to Google, they type whatever it is that they're looking for, right? Let's say plumber, right? And plumber, let's say plumber. And then we have the ads. We usually skip the ads. We go straight to Maps, see what's near us. And then we're looking at the top reviews that are showing up here. Right? And so if any of these businesses were to use Google Posts, it's only going to show up if I click on them and go to Map, right? There's nothing showing up in search directly as a post for the business. Am I correct?
Right, but in Barbara's case, she has a small business in a small suburb, right? She gets maybe 1,000 unique web visits a month. So she's not a high volume business.
Okay.
But out of that, in that month, she'll get, from Google, probably close to 100 or 80 people will call her directly from Google, or 70, some number like that. And her Google posts that in a given week, they'll be seen about 400 times. So during a month, it'll be a group of posts, assuming she does 1 a week or 2 a week, they'll get seen each 1,600 times during the month.
Oh, wow.
So the exposure from Google, even for a small business without a lot of volume, on something like posts is significant. And as I pointed out, I think in the pre-call, her reach of posts currently is, the organic reach is roughly the same as her organic reach on Facebook, which she's been working on for 5 years.
Wow.
During those 5 years, Facebook has been cutting back organic reach, cutting it back. So if she wants organic reach on Facebook, she has to pay for it with a boosted post. So now she's getting as much or more exposure from the front page of Google for her content for free. I don't mean, that's a pretty good deal to me. And so,
that's amazing.
Yep.
And so while I don't think people are going to go looking for her content that way, I think they will discover it through the process of their research. They'll search for custom jewelry design, Buffalo. They'll see 3 or 4 to choose from. They'll click into them to get more information about reviews and so on. People will see it in that context. They'll see that she cares about education, and hopefully that will lead to them converting, either right then and there or coming out to her website to read the article. I think it's a powerful communication tool amongst many. I don't think it's the only tool, but I think that it's simple, it's easy. You can cross-post your content from Facebook, so you don't have to come up with all new content. and I think it's an ideal small business play.
Yeah, definitely. I absolutely agree, Mike. And Yifat, just to go back to the first initial question that you had there, is do you have to be an SEO expert to do this? I don't think that you have to be obviously an SEO expert. I think that having somebody that understands SEM would absolutely be useful.
Okay, translation, ACM is?
Well, search engine marketing, basically. But basically somebody who has a little bit of a marketing mindset, because you have to understand a little bit about the technical mechanics of making a post. First thing is you want to have a minimum of a 250 by 250 pixel image that you're using. The maximum, or what they suggest, is 750 by 750. Gets cropped a little bit. But, so you want to have something that's nice and enticing as far as imagery goes. The other aspect of it is from a writing standpoint. I think it's 100 characters, isn't it, Mike, that shows up on mobile?
100 characters shows up either mobile or desktop in that view. Yeah,
so optimizing that first 100 characters, like just say how you optimize a Facebook post or a Google Plus post or even your tweets, is pretty imperative. And especially if you're going to be putting a custom link in there. But also, you've got up to 300 characters of text that you can put in there. So you want to be able to write copy, obviously, pretty decently. You don't want any grammar or spelling mistakes in any of your copy, because that's going to reflect very poorly on your brand. But yeah, it's just basically, it's a really easy system to use, and with just a little bit of marketing knowledge, you can get your message across.
So let's do a little bit of show how this is actually done. So I'm gonna go to Google My Business, which is an embarrassment. I apologize. And so when you log in, you see those 4 areas, and then you click on manage the location that you want, right? And then you go into post new right here on the big thingy.
It only says it in 2 places there, you bet.
I don't know why, it's really funny, but like my eye usually don't see, like they treat this as like a marketing app, or like, like an advertising thing, or like I totally skip over it. Some weird reason, I don't know.
I don't think Google has ever been called the best marketing machine in the entire world, or the best UX developers, although it's getting better if you notice the whole new layout.
Yeah, and it's cleaner. So if I'm here, okay, so it says you haven't posted anything yet. Of course I didn't. So let's say I want to write something. First thing you need to do is add a picture. So would the first thing be add a picture, or would the first thing be, okay, decide what call to action you want to have, and then based on that, you're going to create the entire post?
Yeah, I think the first thing is decide whether it's an event or not an event. That make this post an event is a critical question, right?
So let's talk events. What is an event?
An event is a time-based, it could be a sale, it could be a training event, it could be a seminar, anything that's time-based. So the first question is it, does it have a start and an end date, like a sale? Okay.
So let's say it doesn't. Let me just do a post for this training right now. So let's say it doesn't, because I already missed it. It's right now. Okay. So no.
You could create it for literally 1 minute from now.
Yeah, but you can't do a same day post. You can't have beginning and end of the same date on it. It'll give you an error message. It's a bug.
Oh,
you can't create a same day event. There's a bug in it that prevents same day events from being created. So if you pick a start in the same day, and then an end, and then you try to save it, you'll get an error message.
Okay, so I don't even have a save.
Well, you got to add some content here, but.
Oh, okay. So if I do blah 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 blah.
I don't think they fixed this bug yet, but.
Okay, and then and the learn more. That's why I don't have it. So the learn more will go to my site, right? That's right now.
There you go.
And so now I can probably I have to add an image.
And you want to give your event an actual title.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do it right now. So Google Plus for business, right there. There we go. So you got that. Here's, oh, so I have to actually write the entire post?
Well, you could just make your event title, which is right down, right there. Yeah, you can just copy and paste it. There you go. Okay, so pop it in there. Give it a quick image.
So I can do here. Hold on a second. Ba-ba-bum. So that'll be the event, right? But now you said, here's a few interesting cropping. So I cannot. Can I format it? Well, like with the same
no formatting
thingies?
No formatting available right now.
No formatting. Okay. So, and this is way more than the 100 words. So, right?
It should it's way more than 100 characters. Way more than 300 characters. More than likely, it's going to be
300 words is the limit of a post.
300 words, yeah. So
might work.
Might work. Might truncate it.
Okay, let's add a little image very quickly. Let me find one.
Just a note about an image quality.
Yes.
It tends to crop the top of the image off. So you want what I call a center-weighted image so that the cropping doesn't cut something critical. Like if you have a human in this and the human runs right to the top of the image, the top of their head's going to be cropped off. It's going to look kind of silly. So you just want an image that, and it's going to be square. So like, for example, that's good because if it gets cropped now, the part that will get cropped is above the circle. So that's what I call a center-weighted image.
Gotcha. So it has to be square. So this is kind of funny because, you know, we either want your nose or not.
Oh yeah, how can you live without my nose?
Right, because if we do this is only your nose right there.
Okay, well that's good. My nose is good. It stands on its own.
Right, and then we'll like center it on Ben's nose even.
Oh, awesome! Only half a nose. Yes.
So that actually looks very interesting. No?
Yep. Yep.
And then I still cannot save.
No, you have to preview actually. Top right.
There you go. That's the bug mic we're talking about.
Yep.
Exactly.
Your event has to go at least till tomorrow, or
they say okay. So this will be my post.
Yep.
And so your advice is like, is this too long of a text?
Well, it's not too long of a text, but you know, from a marketing standpoint, what's really missing is that first 100 characters is not very enticing.
This one.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So publish it. What harm is there? Go ahead, publish it. Click publish. Let's go look at it.
Ta-da.
One of the amazing things about this is that it publishes in real time to the front page of Google.
Oh, so, okay.
So now do a brand search for that business. Let's see if it's there.
Yay.
Notice the first 100 characters that Ben was talking about. So, you know, is it compelling? Is it going to get them to click something? And then notice the cropping, how it cropped down to the circle, which is why you want the center-weighted image.
Love it. Awesome. I get it. So now can I go and edit and then it will update right away?
Absolutely.
And that's how easy it is to do Google Posts.
One thing I will say is there is a caveat though between the mobile experience and the web experience. The mobile experience is absolutely, I would say, I don't want to really use the word clunky, but it kind of is. It's pretty difficult to get your desired image into basically a Google Post because you're doing everything from your handset basically. So there's that, and then of course typing on the phone is a little bit more difficult than it's going to be. You can't just copy and paste, you know, very easily at least on a mobile device. I
think Google's idea with their mobile app is to create an environment where you could be doing real-time posting of things that are occurring and you can take a picture of it. So let's say you're a baker and you are doing a post about today's bread loaves. You can take a picture using your phone, instantly turn it into a post. But I agree with Ben, it's from a control point of view, it's awkward. And you'd want to be sure to practice and double check your work, because it's easy to make a mistake in mobile with the product. And it's going to be showing on the front page of Google. It should look nice.
Exactly.
So I guess the next question is, I'm assuming Google is now going to connect that into AdWords, and you get some analytics behind it, so you can kind of see how your posts are doing?
Not AdWords.
So Google is showing currently on each post how many times it's viewed and how many times consumers take an action. An action could be sharing it, or clicking on the call to action, or clicking in to read it. I think those are the three types of actions that they're measuring. And I'm seeing about a 1 to 2% action rate taking place currently. Now, consumers aren't that familiar with the product, so I think as consumer awareness increases, activity might increase as well.
Yeah, and I believe there's just to a little add to what Mike's saying there is that, if the volume is significant enough, then the data will also be shown in Google My Business Insights. Another thing that is good.
Is it integrated with Insights yet, Ben? I didn't think it was.
No,
I had that worked out yet.
I'm not sure if it's worked out yet, but I think I believe it's coming.
It's coming. I just don't. It just doesn't show as a line in Insights.
Right.
At this point, that's all.
Now, if a user does want to see what's happening in Google Analytics, then when you put in the Learn More link, for instance, you can put your UTM tracking strings on your URL. So that way, at least you can see how many people are clicking through and what kind of actions they're taking from within Google Analytics. But there is no direct correlation or tie between the two right now.
But the plan is that there will be, we got disconnected here for some reason. So the plan is that I'm assuming, right, that the idea for Google is to generate enough money for the business so that they connect their post or their Google My Business with ad accounts and start boosting posts, kind of like what Facebook is doing with boosting posts?
Well, I don't think you can project Google's goal around posts any more than obviously there's a lot of pressure on Google and to monetize, but posts is free. Post is I perceive it as a loss leader. But
as a lost leader? What is a lost leader?
Well, that they're not going to charge for it, that it's free, and I think it will stay free for the foreseeable future. And it's Google's way of attracting people into Google My Business in the hopes that they take advantage of Google AdWords Express. I think their goal is that right now. Whether they monetize this directly or not, we shall see. We can't predict the future,
right.
But Google has indicated that it's a free product and it will stay free.
Yep. Same with websites, which also recently launched.
Yes.
And there is no SEO bump per se that comes from, say, the website's product. We still don't know, it's yet to be seen, whether posts are going to help with SEO currently, given the fact that they're not indexed, even though they do have the data. Theory would be is that it doesn't currently right now, but could it in the future? Absolutely. But I agree with Mike. I think that this is one of those things that Google is doing to just bring users back into Google My Business, and then potentially bring them, they've got the data on what the conversion rate is, and then bring them into AdWords Express. That would make the most sense. Not everything that Google does historically has always had to do with revenue generation.
Right. So what I was yes, I meant that it's going to connect the. Okay, you're right. Sorry, my bad. So the next question is, you were saying that it's not, posts are not indexed into search, but posts in Google Plus are, right? And that's how a user, when they're posting on Google Plus, they can actually get into the triad, the top 3 on Maps. So if they are not indexed, would that make sense that you can grab the posts that you're using on your Google Plus page and then just use them in Google Posts?
And you could use Google Posts to highlight a Google Plus post. So you could write a summary for Google Post, link over to your Google Plus. You could use it that way as well.
I think that's actually a great use case.
Driving people to your Google Plus page.
And you would want to drive them to your Google Plus page because it will increase your ranking in search.
Well, right, Google Plus has been, and I have experimented, has the ability to influence
search
results, right? So, but it's not just the content that's there. It has to be content that's there at Google Plus that gets actively shared, followed, plus commented on. It's those interactions that influence the entity's authority at Google Plus, and then transfers that authority from Google Plus over to the local listings rank. And Google Plus can impact rank that way. So, you know, it depends on your strategy. If your strategy is to grow your Google Plus account and grow your followers, you could use Google Posts as a way of attracting people into your collection and into your content.
Yep.
That could be more comprehensive.
I don't think I could have actually said it any better than Mike just did. So, Mike, you should be like dropping the mic at this point.
Well, if I start coughing again, I will.
One thing I will say is this: I think that's a great strategy. You know, number one. Number two is that each one of these posts does have a share option. So if you go back to one of the posts, Yifat, you'll see that it's got the 3 dots which are connected, which is the kind of their universal share look button, and you can share it on Google Plus, you can share it on Twitter, you can share it on Facebook, you can copy
if I go, hold on a second. So if I am in, you mean right here in search itself?
Yeah, exactly. So go ahead and click on your post, not to learn more. Right.
Oh, so this one. There you go.
Yeah. So there you go. Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, email, and then you can copy the actual link itself.
So that strategy, what you mean is that you would start from Google Plus, you would write the post in your Google Plus, Google My Business, right? And then take that, create a post out of it in Google Post with a little enticing call to action, and then share that from here to your Facebook, your Twitter, and your blog post, maybe?
Well, yeah, I mean, copying the link is just, you could link to, you wouldn't want to link to posts from a blog post, but yes, you can copy the link and share the link.
So would you say that would be the best strategy if you want to, because I'm assuming as a small business, what you want is really to show up on the triad, right? So like when we did a plumber in Austin, what businesses want is not to pay for the first position. They want to appear right here in the triad, and you, Ben, are an amazing person and company and service that helps you that. And I'm going to cough like Mike.
No, that wasn't like me. My cough is much deeper and more extensive. It was a joke.
So
you're muted.
Yifat, you're muted. Where you're coughing a lot, and we feel bad for you.
I'm coughing a lot. There you go. You go.
No, I was going to say, so what you're talking about, basically is trying to increase the engagement, say, on Google Plus by utilizing posts. And while I think that's a good idea, I think that, we have to go back to the marketing mindset first. Let's not really, strange here coming from me probably, but, let's not focus on the SEO aspect of this, because this product is not currently proven or meant to impact SEO. Even though it has a link, even though there's content, it's not indexed currently. We don't know if it's actually influencing anything from search. Yeah, you could link over to a Google Plus post, and you could hope that when somebody clicks learn more, that they have a Google Plus account, and that not only that they're going to actually follow and engage with the page. I think the more direct call to action, and what this product was intended for, is to link to either a piece of content on your website, or show off a special, do some kind of an event, something that's more either informational or transactional in nature. that's where I think the true benefit today is, at least.
Right. And the other tip is to keep it simple, stupid, right? A straightforward post meant to entice or educate, as Ben said, with a good photo. And that's really what you should be doing. It doesn't need to get more complicated than that.
Yeah.
So if, and thank you for covering for me. I don't know what happened. So when the posts are disappearing after 7 days, can you just take
from
that
search? They still exist in association with your listing and can be seen in aggregate. But
okay, so explain that, because my initial thought was like, if the post disappears after 7 days from search, all I have to do is rotate the first, the top posts, and then have them visible, like figure out which one are the most clickable, and then just rotate the same four. But you're saying they're indexed somewhere?
They're associated with your listing. They're stored like a review is stored in a separate index in the knowledge graph, but it's associated with your business. So Google will retain this content over time. We don't know yet how they're going to use this content. So while your tactic of repeating a post is certainly possible, I think that it may not serve long haul your interest. I think it's always better to give Google a broader understanding of what you do. And I think having a broad diversity of posts about your different products and services is a way to do that. So while I don't think it has SEO value, I do think Google never loses data, never throws it away. And I think that that content can help Google understand your business better.
And Yifat, Mike had some great points there. To add to that really quickly, if you were to look at this on a mobile device today, specifically, say you brought up Barbara Oliver, right? So which has a lot of posts. You'll notice that there's a tabbed interface on the knowledge panel. And one of those is for reviews, and another one of those is for posts. And the post tab holds basically the current posts as well as the archived posts. And I believe, Mike, isn't it up to 10 currently right now is what the story?
Actually, the carousel will show 10 simultaneously. I think that the archive shows more than that, but okay. I don't know.
Yeah, so the thing is that they're all there. So with your example, Yifat, if you were constantly repeating content, you have to think it from a user's perspective. So let's say they do go on mobile. Let's say they look at it and they see a bunch of repeated posts, every 3 days. That to me looks like a very lazy business owner, and that's going to give me a negative impression of the business right off the bat. So now you just took me from a interested party to a I think I'm going to bounce party. So so there's that, and it's not currently like that on desktop, but I don't think that it is a wild fantasy to think that it would not come to desktop at some point in time.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Because when I'm looking at desktop right now, all I see is 2 posts. See just these 2 posts showing up. And so you're saying on mobile, I will see way more than that.
You'll see a tab for all of them. Click on one of them though, just not on the learn more, but on the post. Yeah. And then click on the review, the link, the share button. Just click on the share link, and then copy the link.
Can you see that, Yifat? Can you see my phone pretty well?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on the posts tab for Barbara Oliver right now, and as you can see, this is kind of interesting to do.
Oh wow! Okay.
But there are a lot more posts. It kind of stops right there, but. So yeah, and as you can see also on mobile, that's what it looks like when you're searching, and there's the posts down there at the bottom.
Gotcha.
And you can swipe, and you still get 2 actually on mobile. So you have to go to the posts, because there's only 2 posts currently available. So like Mike said, there'd be up to 10. But the post tab is holding all of the archived ones.
So it's more of like a way to get personality into search, right? Like your own personal, and then build the relationship, like you both said, through education, through events, through sales, right, and offers and all that stuff. Can I cannot add videos right now, can I?
You can add videos, and you can animated GIFs either.
Okay, so no animated and no videos.
Although it was fun in the early tests, because in the early tests you could do animated GIFs.
And they removed it because people went crazy with that.
Who knows?
The product from the early test has evolved a lot, right? The early test product started in January of 2016 as a platform for presidential candidates and high-profile sports teams. Somewhere along the line, Google realized that small businesses were actively embracing it, and the product was redesigned with a somewhat more limited scope, removing the ability to add video and GIFs and focusing much more intently on a Google My Business tool. And that's what's been that's what's been released. We don't know whether they will add back any of that other functionality.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I think that kind of like sums Google Post up. So how, like from your experience, how many people are actually using it and taking advantage of it?
Well, it's a little hard to track because it's not indexed. I am tracking Google websites to see, and those have grown in the last 3 weeks from virtually no use to, I think, 175,000 Google websites in 3 weeks. So Google, with their worldwide reach and their people writing about them so much, I presume that there's a similar uptake of this product, but we have no way to know that.
Yeah, I can just say that in passing, I mean, just working on local every day, that I'm seeing more and more people taking advantage of posts. Again, it's such an easy thing to do that why wouldn't somebody who's a business owner do it?
I think it's because, so the reason why I wasn't doing this is because I was like, well, what am I going to write about, right? Like and I didn't know if I can copy and paste, right? Like just duplicate my Google Plus posts. I didn't know what would, everything that you just explained, the character, the call to action, the image getting cropped a little bit. Where does it show in search? How quickly does it show in all the stuff we just covered right now? I think there's so much confusion and misunderstanding about what happens and how you use that in order to grow exposure. We're just not used to it. So I think hopefully this video will generate a lot more traction and give people the confidence to start using it for their own business, become humane. And if they need any help, guys, where do they find you? Mike, where do they find you?
I'm everywhere.
You're everywhere.
Twitter, M. Blumenthal on Twitter. Mike at get5stars.com is my email. Blumenthals.com/blog is one of my blogs. localu.org is another blog that I participate on. Get5stars.com/blog is the third blog I'm on. And I'm a top contributor in the Google My Business forum, so you can ping me there. So I try to be wherever people are that want to get a hold of me.
There you go. And then Ben.
Yeah, on Twitter, you can reach me at the Social Dude on Google Plus Ben Fisher. I'm also active on the Google My Business forums as a top contributor. That's at advertisercommunity.com. As a matter of fact, you can reach any of the top contributors if you're having any problems with posts. As a matter of fact, we love to hear feedback, especially any kind of frustrations. Those can be, escalated to Google if they're indeed like a bug, like for instance, the same day event. And you can reach me on my company's website. It's steadydemand.com. And yeah, I'm also in the Local U forums as well. And yeah.
So let me just show you guys where where Mike and Ben are, where they're talking about we love escalation. I don't know how much escalation you love, but like there's a lot of posts right here. This is the community, Google My Business, where people asking a lot of questions about what to do with Google Posts, a bunch of them. So if you have any questions that wasn't answered and you can't reach these guys, you can definitely come to this community. Just post your questions here, right? And these top contributors will help you out.
Exactly.
So thank you guys for joining. Thank you so much, Mike and Ben, for taking time out of your day and week. I know, Mike, you've been traveling a lot, and Ben, you're busy with meetings. So this was awesome. And we'll definitely stay in touch. And guys, if you have any questions about Google Local, Google My Business, leave them everywhere and we'll get to them. So thanks a bunch.
Thanks for having me.
All right.